Repeating, these storms moving extremely quickly. They are moving at 40, 50 miles per hour. That means if a tornado warning is issued, which we now have for northwestern Columbus County and western sections of Bladen County, that you don't have very long to react.
Weekend, and unfortunately, I'm not too happy about the chance of rain, specifically on Friday or Saturday morning, Eric. But
I give her 70-degree temperatures. I give her sunshine all this time, and she's complaining about a little bit of rain, which, by the way, we actually need.
I know.
Yeah, you give us a little bit of rain.
Shame on me.
Shame on Kim. That's right.
White, just one of the sights you see now when you go to New York.
I bet it's cold there, though. Wouldn't you think it'd be a little chilly to be dropping your pants?
Not really.
No?
No.
Warm there too, huh?
Great pants dropping weather right now in New York City.
You sound like you speak from experience, Eric.
I don't, but I guess if you're going that route, it's not all that bad in New York City. Now, if you're in the western part of the U.S., maybe somewhere like Denver, Minneapolis, you probably don't want to do that. Well, you probably don't want to do it anyway, but you certainly wouldn't want to do it because of the weather. 63 right now in Wilmington, 50. Storm is actually looking more and more. I've been kind of focusing on that storm because it is looking very impressive right now, and it is getting very close to the towns right now of Delway and Harrells. Those towns definitely very much in jeopardy. Look at that hook echo. You can see it very nicely right now showing up on the First Alert Digital Doppler. It's that gate-to-gate shear that we're talking about, and again, this classic inflow notch which we're seeing, and again the circulation center right about here, and that's going to look at that on velocity. It's really showing up very nicely. You've got the greens one direction for the radar, the reds the other direction for the radar. That's the gate-to-gate shear that we're talking about, and this is getting ready to cross Highway 421 right in the vicinity of Delway and Harrell. So again, this is in Sampson County that we're talking about. Very likely a tornado. It's certainly very strong indications of it on the Doppler radar. I haven't seen any confirmed reports of it on the ground, but it would not shock me at all. And again, if you are in the towns of Delway and Harrells, you need to take cover right now because this possible tornado will be crossing right over Highway 421. And Colin, we should probably do a storm track on this particular cell because I'm really getting concerned about it because the shears are just, again, a very impressive looking storm. We've seen this quite a bit today, too many times. And again, as we said, Delway, it's literally right on top of you. But if this circulation cell holds together, and you can see that classic hook echo, it's really showing up right now very nicely. It's going to be moving up into Duplin County, right in the vicinity of Magnolia, and possibly up around the Kenansville area and Beulaville area. Once again, probably more northern Duplin County, probably a little more in jeopardy with this particular cell. But again, southern Sampson County, and again, this one has got the potential also to cross Interstate 40 if it holds together. But very strong signatures with that particular cell. Fayetteville. But notice the temperatures get a lot colder as you head closer to the beach, and there's a good reason for that. It's because of the colder water temperatures. Remember, the water temperatures, even though the air temperatures have been running in the 80s, especially away from the coast, the water temperatures still running in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. So what this is doing, it's setting up a sea breeze boundary. We've kind of drawn this in for you. And again, along the beaches the next couple of days, the last couple of days, and for the next couple of days, highs have been running mostly in the 70s, but even some 60s for highs because of the very cold water. Whereas you move on the other side of the sea breeze boundary, and that's the case at the airport. Remember, the Wilmington Airport is right here over in western sections of New Hanover.
Eric Davis with your First Alert weather.
Welcome back. One of the big topics of conversation on our WECT Facebook page today has been the fact that it's been very smoky across New Hanover County. You've probably noticed it the last couple of days. Let me explain what's going on right now. This is a map of Brunswick County right here. This is kind of the general vicinity of where the Orton Plantation is. This is Highway 133. So again, this is the Cape Fear River. This is Brunswick County. And what we have going on right now are controlled burns across Brunswick County, particularly in the vicinity of the Orton Plantation. Now, as we widen out the map, what we're seeing today, of course, southwesterly winds, and at times we've been seeing these winds gusting over 20 miles per hour. So what's happening basically is all this smoke being generated by these controlled burns over Brunswick County. That smoke is being brought right into New Hanover County. We've had lots of reports of smoke in the Monkey Junction area. We've had reports of smoke up around Riceville Beach, and well, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that over the last month we have been seeing unusually cold weather across southeastern North Carolina. Now, I know the temptation is to blame the weatherman, but there's something else I'm going to blame, and that is the jet stream. It's the big river of air 50,000 feet or so up in the atmosphere, which drives the jet stream. And this has been the pattern, not constantly, but pretty much through much of the month of March and the early part of April. We have seen a big trough in the jet stream, which has basically opened the floodgates for lots of cold Canadian or even Arctic air to pour in across not only North Carolina, but across much of the eastern United States, much of the Northeast, the Midwest, even the deep South. Temperatures have been running below where they should be for this time of the year. But finally, finally, it looks like this pattern is going to begin to change. This is how it's going to change, it looks like, as we head into next week. Now, this trough is going to move on out, but it looks like as we head into next week, a new trough is going to set up. But this time, the trough is setting up over the central part of the United States, and across the eastern United States, we won't have a trough in place. In fact, we're going to have a big ridge in the jet stream, which will actually allow, especially as we head to the middle part of next week, some unseasonably warm weather to make its way into southeastern North Carolina. And again, the jet stream, which has been so unfavorable for so long, finally changing in a way that I think we're going to finally see some much warmer temperatures, and that's going to be reflected, as you'll see, in my 7-day forecast. Now, today, of course, was not all that warm, and part of the reason why it wasn't that warm, we had that jet stream trough, but we also had a lot of cloud cover in place, which really didn't allow us to see much sunshine. We were hoping that the clouds would move out a little bit quicker than they did, but it wasn't to be. It looks like temperatures in Wilmington will top out in the upper 50s, although we did see some low 60s late in the day where we did see a little bit of sunshine up in Bladen County. And the clouds, even a couple of showers very early this morning. The rainfall did shut off, but we definitely saw the clouds stick around. But you notice as you head back towards the west, much drier air mass now, western sections of North Carolina, Ohio, and Tennessee Valley. And it's this drier air mass that will be moving in here for the weekend, along with some warmer temperatures. Our hour-by-hour forecast model still going to be cool tonight. This cool area of high pressure is still in place across the Ohio Valley, so I would expect temperatures to drop down tonight, probably into the 40s by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. You can see the temperature by 5 a.m. Forecast to be in the mid-40s. But as this area of high pressure moves in, remember, it's clockwise flow around the high, so we're still on the northerly end of the high right now. That's why temperatures are cool. And even on your Saturday, I expect temperatures to be a little bit below normal, topping out, it looks like, in the mid-60s. But once this high pressure area moves offshore, the floodgates are going to open, and here's a warm front you can see moving into western North Carolina as early as tomorrow afternoon, and this warmer weather poised to move into the area by tomorrow afternoon. Numbers 57, that's the current temperature at the airport, 43 in the morning low. We could get a little more sunshine. We may be able to add another degree or two to that high, maybe getting close to the 60-degree mark. So clouds decreasing for the rest of tonight, bottoming out at 43 degrees. Not a bad day tomorrow. Sunny skies, but 64 is still about 7 degrees below normal. Northeast winds at 10 miles per hour. And the First Alert Planning forecast, here we go. I told you about the pattern change. Here it is. 70 degrees on Sunday, sunny and 75 on Monday. And look at those overnight lows. They're only going to be in the low and mid 50s next week. Still think we're on track for 77 on Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday, and maybe even hitting the 80-degree mark at least once on Thursday. I'm going to make my highlight day, though, Friday, as it looks like a pretty potent storm system could begin to move in our direction. And not only maybe some showers and thunderstorms next Friday, maybe even the potential for a little bit of severe weather. We'll have to break that down as the week goes on. That's the price you pay, unfortunately, though, sometimes in the springtime. You get the warm temperatures and the sunshine, but you also see the severe weather threat begin to increase as well.
All right. Thanks so much, Eric. Now to
Meteorologist Eric Davis with your First Alert weather.
All right, a very important forecast, obviously, with the Azalea Festival underway. And let's get right to it. Let's start to break down the rainfall chances as we head through the next 48 hours, starting with tomorrow. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for much of the day. Tomorrow, we're going to look for a mixture of sun and clouds. Rainfall chance pretty much 0% during the morning hours and only about 10% during the afternoon. I think it is possible that a couple spotty showers could flare up. Not going to be a big deal, though, as far as your plans. But starting tomorrow night, the rainfall chances start to ramp up to about 30%. Maybe the potential of some thunderstorms, especially overnight. But here's where we start to encounter the problems. That's going to be on Friday, and the rainfall chance we think peaking on Friday morning at 80%. Pretty much a guarantee that most of us are going to see showers and thunderstorms. And as we told you a few moments ago, there is the potential that we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. Damaging winds would be the primary threat, but also some localized heavy rain, a little bit of hail, and maybe even a small tornado threat. So definitely a good idea, if you haven't done so already, to download the WECT news and weather apps for your smartphone, for your iPhone, your Android device. Even on Friday afternoon, still about a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a second round of thunderstorms. Cold front's not going to move through here probably until Friday evening, and finally by Friday evening it looks like the rainfall chance will start to drop off. So that appears to be the timeline right now for showers and thunderstorms across the area. Obviously none of that today. We've seen full sunshine and temperatures warmed up in a big way. 83 degrees, the official high in Wilmington. Some of the inland counties getting even warmer than that. And places like Roanoke, Virginia, Washington, D.C., get this, hitting 90 degrees this afternoon, so some even warmer temperatures off to our north and west. The big cold front that's going to be responsible for the showers and thunderstorms, though, still well back towards the west tonight. We're still under the influence of an area of high pressure which is parked offshore. It's acting like that heat pump we've talked about the last couple of days. So a pretty mild evening out there. Temperatures in the 70s, and they'll only drop down into the 60s overnight. Here's our front, though, starting to make its way into western Tennessee, so places like Memphis, Tennessee, possibly Jackson, Mississippi could be in line for some pretty strong thunderstorms overnight into tomorrow morning. Much of tomorrow will be dry, although our hour-by-hour model is showing a possibility of a couple of spotty showers for tomorrow afternoon. Definitely a little more in the way of cloud cover, but southerly winds continuing to warm our temperatures, probably close to 80 degrees once again. But the real trouble is going to start tomorrow night as thunderstorms begin to enter western sections of North Carolina. The oranges and yellows indicating the heavier thunderstorm activity. By 7 o'clock on Friday, at least a few showers and thunderstorms across the area. But even tomorrow, Friday morning, the bulk of the activity probably in central North Carolina, and then probably mid-morning into the early afternoon. That's when the worst of the weather is going to be. Now, unfortunately, the garden party, the Azalea Festival garden party, getting underway about 11 a.m. on Friday, very dicey at best. Temperatures in the 70s, showers and thunderstorms around the area. Notice the winds, too, are going to be an issue out of the south, maybe gusting 20, 25 miles per hour, and those gusty winds will continue into Friday afternoon. I do think the front clears the coast by late in the afternoon, and by Friday evening we should begin to dry things out. Looks a little bit better for the Azalea Festival concert. Of course, the Avett Brothers taking place on Friday evening. There it is, 83 the official high, morning low 61 degrees, 73 and 50 are the normals for this time of the year. South wind right now 13 miles per hour, 79, humidity very low. That's why fire conditions are still pretty primed right now across the area. Mostly clear, 61 for tonight, southwest winds 5 miles per hour, 81 for tomorrow. I'm going to keep the forecast mostly dry, but some spotty showers not completely out of the realm of possibility tomorrow afternoon. And here's your First Alert Planning forecast. 80 degrees, showers and thunderstorms pretty much a sure bet for most of us on Friday. Saturday, partly cloudy, 73 degrees. And then as we head towards Sunday, again, once we get past tomorrow, I think it's going to be great. 75 degrees on Sunday, maybe a few more showers on Monday. I'm going to make the highlight day Saturday because there's a lot going on. Of course, first and foremost, the Azalea Festival Parade looks pretty good right now. Just partly sunny skies, 59 degrees. I think the parade will be dry.
Friday, of course, though, is the big question for a lot of folks going to the garden party and the concert Friday night. Yeah,
right now the garden party a lot more of a question mark. I'm still hopeful maybe most of the activity could wind down for that concert on Friday evening.
All right. Thanks so much, Eric. You know, kids are often targeted online, but they're not the only.
Storm would bring us heavy rain and wind, and it has delivered. So what's next?
It looks like more heavy rain and maybe some stronger winds here as we head through the evening and overnight hours. But the good news for us, Ashley, the storm is still going to track at least probably 200 miles or so offshore. So we will continue to feel the fringe effects of this very large storm. But tropical storm warnings do remain in effect for the coastal counties, New Hanover, Brunswick, Pender, and Onslow County. And we could see some winds gusting close to tropical storm force, maybe in Bladen and Columbus before all is said and done. I do think the strongest winds are going to occur late tonight, maybe around midnight. Right now, the storm is located about 300 miles to the southeast of Wilmington. The 5 p.m. numbers haven't changed much. 30.2 north, 75.2 west, sustained winds, 75 miles per hour. Pressure holding at about 961 millibars, but it is moving northeast at 13 miles per hour. That is not directly towards our coast, but it will be directly towards some other locations. You can see heavy rain bands still pounding the coast. Some parts of Brunswick and New Hanover County have seen over 2 inches of rain, while little rainfall has fallen in places like Elizabethtown, Clinton, and points westward towards Interstate 95. Now, the winds are interesting. We are now seeing some gusts. It looks like 41 mile per hour gusts in the last hour at Riceville Beach. But look at Frying Pan Shoals. That's this buoy right here off the southeast coastline. 60 mile per hour wind gusts now as that center of the storm draws a little bit closer to many of these areas. We will have the complete First Alert forecast, though, coming up in just a few moments. Ashley?
All right. Thanks, Eric. And remember, if you lose power this weekend, you can still stay connected and get updates from us on your smartphone.
This is out at the Sounds of Summer concert. Eric, you ready to have the band go on? You got a little bit of a breeze. I can see the trees going. Tell me what you have going on out there.
I know you've been talking a lot about the heat wave, but trust me, the heat wave has not arrived at Riceville Beach Park. That's where we are tonight. Dutch Treat is the band, and believe me, you are in for a treat. All kinds of great music coming up. We've got 70s, 80s, 90s, and we've got this outfit. I mean, this is worth the price of admission alone, which, by the way, is free. It's something else we should admit as well. Free admission, Riceville Beach Park. Dutch, why don't you tell us a little bit about the music you're playing tonight and this outfit?
About my outfit
and the music.
When you can play the Steve Perry songs, you get to wear this vest.
That's the key.
70s, disco from the 70s.
2005 landfall of Hurricane Katrina along the U.S. Gulf Coast not only caused massive destruction in many areas, it also revealed the lack of a policy regarding pets. Before Katrina struck in August of 2005, massive evacuations of the U.S. Gulf Coast were ordered. Most people obeyed the orders and did just that. However, many pet owners had to make a wrenching choice due to lack of shelters for animals. They either had to abandon their pets to the mercy of this monster storm, or worse, risk their own lives by riding out Katrina. A year after the storm, Congress passed a law called the Pets Evacuation and Standards Act. This law required state and local governments to factor pets into their disaster evacuation plans. Coastal counties in southeastern North Carolina have learned the lessons from Katrina, says Warren Lee, New Hanover County's Emergency Management Director, and today each county has a pet shelter.
We provide facilities. There's no excuse for someone to abandon an animal and not take care of them if they're planning to not be there to where the animal is. You know, if you're going to leave your home, don't leave the animal in the home. Take the animal to safe haven. Make sure it's taken care of just as you do your family.
Many hotels and veterinarians can house pets too, but if you want to protect your pets from the big storm, you'll need to plan ahead.
Right now, we don't currently have any kind of a reservation process. Our shelters are all first come, first serve. You know, you need to plan early, come early when the shelter opens, and that way you're assured a spot for your animal.
Lee says that you can expect your pets to stay in a separate part of the shelter away from people.
We shelter the pets in a separate part of the school. You know, strange as it may seem, there are folks who have animals who still have allergies of one sort or another. So we try to isolate the animals from the humans. We keep them one on one end of the school and one on the other. But, you know, during the day we do allow the pet owners to go and visit their animals.
Dr. Christine Carmine, a veterinarian at Wrightsville Beach Animal Hospital, reminds us that there are other things to consider when it comes to pet planning for hurricanes.
What I would recommend is that pet owners make sure that their pets are current on all their vaccinations. Make sure that they have collars with identification. Microchips are ideal in case those collars become detached. You also want to have a good supply of water and dog food on hand.
Dr. Carmine tells us that some of the biggest dangers to pets come after the storm has passed.
If you have power lines down or chemicals in the environment that may have spilled that they could get into, I think you may be more likely to have snakes.
Dogs and cats are welcome at any pet shelter. Unfortunately, there is no accommodation for exotic pets such as birds. As is the case with your regular hurricane preparation, now is the time to get your emergency pet supplies and make a pet evacuation plan for your family. Eric Davis, WECT News.